everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Bold Takes and Bad Tempers. I am your host, as always, Zachary Ronaldo, better known online as Zach the Bold. Right off the bat, I could tell I could not be yelling as much as I do. And during the podcast, I lost my voice again over the weekend. I did a lot of recording last week. Went into the weekend. I was hanging out with some of my friends, playing some games, hanging out, trying to enjoy it before we move. And I realized I have a really hard time talking to people about their friends, about their perception of friends. It comes to a point where it's like an emotional, I guess it's more of like a social barrier. You know, when like you go on a first date and you instantly realize the person is incompatible with you because they're too happy, or maybe you're too vain. Maybe they're just, it's not the fact that they're smiling or having a good time. I'm glad that they are. But you can't bring up, like, the waiter's been gone a little too much, and you can't say anything because you know the person across from you will absolutely rip you to shreds. If you go, I think our waiter's been gone a little too long, and they look at you and you literally hear your social credit begin to decline, and they're like, your server is absolutely packed right now. And you look around and it's a Chili's at 8 p.m. and you're on a double date. The double date didn't arrive. It's just you and this girl. And the server is outside and they're playing slots on their phone and smoking a cigarette, and they have a velo in, and they have a crazy head buzz, but they're getting a little nauseous and they have to wait. And so that's what it's like talking to people with friends. Not saying that I don't have friends. I have quite the opposite. I think I have enemies, but it's like they broke through to the other side. I will hear someone talk about their friends, and they will talk to them about how they went to a slam poetry night or a comedy show, how they emotionally support each other. My friends would do anything in the book to make it so that they can get a reaction out of me, even if they weren't there. You could say that an episode of House of Cards could be done in such a way where it is my friends trying to make my existence more difficult. And this isn't like me talking about some kind of toxic masculinity. I've been at those parties where someone's like, first one to fall asleep, I'll put my balls in your mouth. And that's very curious to me. I don't know why that's. I one time went to a person's birthday party, and their 6-year-old niece stood up on a table at wherever we were. I think we're at like a Ramada Inn. We were at a pool at a Ramada Inn, and someone was having a Webkins themed birthday party. And their like little sister stands up on the table and says, hold on, I'm going to see how loud I can scream. And it's the same thought process I get, which is detrimentally they need to have a Groundhog's Day-esque moment where their parents can reassure them that they are in fact paying attention to them. And for me, it is, I understand. I've been in the position where someone's like, first one to fall asleep, and we're gonna freaking give you a swirly. We're gonna give you a freaking gorilla face mask. We're gonna teabag you. It's not like that. My friends would sell my social security card on the Tor browser for pennies on the dollar so that they could receive a text from me saying my identity was stolen and I don't know how, and they would reply with a Fortnite emote, a season 1 Fortnite emote. I think my friends would sign me up to be MK Ultra'd by the 1980s CIA, and just so they could interrupt me on a first date, and they would like turn on the radio to 1004 AM and some kind of like chittering electrical noise would go off. And I would get up and and it is truly difficult for me to talk to people who say they never want to step on their friends' toes. They never want to interact with their friends in a negative way. I have never interacted with a group of enemies worse than my friends, and I love them, and they're great, and they're amazing. But whatever, that guy, that former CIA agent that's been going around doing podcasts and whatever, and they'll say, yeah, we tied someone up in a 50-degree room and we throw a bucket of ice water on them and torture them. My buddies would do that to me without a second thought. I've had people from, friend group F hang out with my friend group A, and they're astonished. It's like they have to talk to me afterwards like an intervention. I was born in the fires. I feel as if my life is the Truman Show, but instead of everyone watching me to grow up and watching how my life acts and reacts, I am some kind of generational punishment. Like maybe I was Napoleon in a past life. Not because I'm capable of doing great things, but because I am just trying to observe the punishment that is growing up with my dearest, closest friends. So we played this game. I think it's called Super Battle Golf. And this is one of those games, you'll talk to a quirky, funny millennial person. Mario Party ruins friendships. Mario Party you have no idea. You have no idea. Remember the dip from Who Framed Roger Rabbit? I am the crud at the bottom of that barrel that has been formed. And that liquid are the friends I've made along the way. And so it is impossible for me to engage in discourse with someone. I mean, this podcast is a product of that in its own way, because I'm incapable of talking to people about their own friends because the relationships don't work. And I've had it through college, It's like Squidward being in the vacation village where he's like really happy at first, like, oh my God, everyone's so nice here. And then slowly every day is the same and it's so perfect that slowly his face gets worse and worse. And then I'm sitting in a cubicle on the third floor of my university's library looking at a carved out lettering that says, "Here's to you, kid," as I'm holeless and friendless because I'm incapable of getting past the point where people are not willing to get $1 margaritas and be vain with me. And I think I'm incapable of it. And it also just might be the fact that I'm on a cut. For those true ones out there who knows, there is something nice about being on a cut because about 3 hours out of the day, you will feel like a star. You will feel like an expanding nebula throughout the cosmos. You will watch TikTok edits of classic Arnold. You will listen to hyperpop. You are absolutely fried off of a pre-workout that is not FDA approved, that you've gotten off the black market, has enough caffeine in it. It has so much caffeine in it, it's not calculated in milligrams. It is calculated in grams of how many caffeine is in it. And it's called like donkey diarrhea, and it's fruit punch flavored. That is the best part about being on a cut. And then you have to deal with the rest of your day. And you're constantly tired. You want to eat all the time. Well, Zach, eat more fiber. I can't. My body rejects it. I get home from the gym and I'm eating eggs. It's like 2 eggs and egg whites and spinach and mushrooms. And my body fights me. I'm eating like 140 grams of eggs. And it turns into a man versus food challenge. My girlfriend, bless her heart, is listening to the Pitt. and it's like 9 a.m. and I'm eating eggs that have the consistency of slurping up old fry oil from an Arby's in Gary, Indiana. And my girlfriend's watching the Pitt. And it's just because her outlook on life is so much more positive than mine. And that's not me being a nihilist. I'm not saying I'm nihilist. I'm actually quite the opposite. But I'm on a huge come down from a pre-workout that has the penguins of Madagascar with Joker makeup on it and an explosion in the background. And my bags are dipping down into the hot sauce and my eggs, and the Pitt is going off. And I turn around and it's some guy with PTSD, and it's just everyone's worst day on the planet. I thought it'd be like Grey's Anatomy. There'd be some juicy drama. It's not. It's like I'm wearing VR goggles. It's like I'm in the comics zone from the Sega Genesis, but instead of going into the comic, I'm going into the Pit. I'm there. Someone's having open heart surgery and I'm eating eggs. I'm eating eggs in the room where this person is getting surgery, and they're probably going to die. And the only way to save them is I have to eat the rest of my eggs. It's like the same thing with people who listen. It's like it'll be 6 a.m. They work their 9 to 5 and they listen to murder dramas. Not even dramas. They listen to murder documentaries or those podcasts where it'll be a couple of girls and they go, in the 1960s, the dad was chopped to bits and the mom was found upside down in a freezer. So let's break this down. And I just think my body is fight. That is for someone, you can listen to that if you wake up and you have a Chick-fil-A breakfast. That is for a person who wakes up and they take their eye mask off. They hear the birds in the morning and they smell the fresh spring air. They sit down, they have their coffee and they're grounded. They go, oh, I'm going to take 15 minutes to ground myself. And they go, you know what? I'm sorry. I have a morbid fascination with murder documentaries. I wake up out of a locked stupor. People have to take 100 Benadryl in order to have a dream like I do. I force my eyelids open. I've had the same dream every night. I'm hungover and I haven't drank in years. The sun is beating into my room. I have to pee and I have no water. My water line is cut off. I look at my email. First thing I do is I open up my thing. I open up my phone. I see that Apple News has sent 1,000 notifications of everything going on wrong with the world. My head is buzzing like static on a TV. And I get up and I look at my phone and it's an email from my landlord saying the water line has been cut off for a week. And I go to the gym and I haven't eaten anything in 14 hours, longer than that. I've been on a 10-day fast. And I scoop away this pre-workout into a shaker cup that smells bad. And I'm on my way and I'm listening to anything. I feel like I'm in stasis. I am literally Master Chief. I am Master Chief in stasis at the end of Halo 3. And then all of a sudden I'm at the gym. And I'm thinking of food. Contrast that with someone who's they got the little under eyes patches and they're watching the Pitt. And it's fine because they can take it. I need like the Smiling Friends theme song blasted into my head at all times. I look down. I have a LifeLock protection. One of my friends put up my birth certificate ID social on the Tor browser as a joke. I have to watch a True TV episode of something. I have to watch HD TV and reset. And that's how it is. There are people who seek out conflict there, and then there are those that are magnets. And I'm not saying my life is hard. I'm not. But it is almost, it is to a point now where I will go and get gas, and it'll be like the scene from It's Always Sunny when their neighbor talks to them about the weather. How many times in my life have I said hello to someone and they tell me that their dog is dying? They lost the house. How am I supposed to respond to these things? And so, what were we talking about? I have a true inability to talk to people about their friends, about the relationships they hold, because mine are just not the same. And that's not me being edgy or cool. I feel as if it's a plight, like locusts or pox. It feels as if it is not forged by fire, because that is admirable. I have been forged by the dip, the crud at the bottom of the dip, and Who Framed Roger Rabbit. Is there anything else I want to talk about? No. Every update that I've given last week is the exact same. So I think we're just going to go into questions. Hey, Zach, just wanted to start off with everyone else and say I love your podcast, which is definitely a D&D podcast and not a schizo rant podcast. I want to hear your BoldTakes on your preference of physical or PDF books and the price on D&D Beyond. I personally prefer physical books and can't stand reading PDFs. But I hate that in order to use the books when making a character or reviewing monsters on D&D Beyond, I have to also buy the digital versions. Do you think physical books should have a code or something that's only been activated after purchases that allows the use of the materials in the book, but maybe not the ability to read the book itself on the website app? Or maybe I'm just a greedy piece of trash. I think honestly that Dungeons and Dragons books should come with a Neuralink chip. You know, the thing that your corporate insurance tries to sell you so you can track your miles driving around, but in reality, you're probably training some sort of Palantir algorithm. That is what we need for D&D Beyond. Listen, Wizards, I love you. I know you're searching for a way to monetize Dungeons and Dragons. I think it's time to just start selling people's data from a Neuralink chip that holds Curse of Strahd revamped. And there will be uproars. People will be upset, but they will forget. You will put out a secret layer, something that is, and you can go in two directions, something that will make people even more upset than they will about the D&D neurochip, or you put out something that they really like. Think nostalgia. Think something that is a very popular series that has been around for a long time. You know, a Resident Evil secret layer. You know that will do numbers. Think of what you can get away with. Zach, should I have the PDF or should I have the hardcover book? You should have a chip of titanium implemented in your skull. You should go to sleep and you should feel WotC scrolling through your memories and copy and pasting everything into a data center in the Midwest. You ask me, Zach, I like a physical book. I like holding something. Yeah, imagine if you could close your eyes and see a D&D Beyond ad. You close your eyes, you see a secret layer or a Chaos Vault ad. That is what we're looking for in the future. Oh, I got to think about my character. You close your eyes and you wait 30 seconds because you have to get through the ads. And then boom, you can see your character. I don't know what you want me to tell you. That is the easiest way we can do. Zach, do you prefer PDF or hardcover? I think I would prefer to be suspended in the air by my underwear, like Patrick Star in the fish hookup episode, and my eyes are clockwork orange opened into an LED basketball court that is playing rain bet ads and telling me to buy more stuff on D&D Beyond. Oh, Zach, what do you think of the PDF? My ass crack is torn in half from a hook that is holding up my underwear as I watch the Lakers LED basketball court send Neuralink transmissions about Curse of Strahd revamped. What do you want me to say? Can you even hear me from up here? I'd use thaumaturgy, but I haven't watched the ads yet. They haven't gone through my head. What's the second part of this question? I also wanted to ask your opinion on what I should do for a campaign for my dad. I have his old D&D books, the 3-core books being printed in 78 and 79. Hasn't played D&D since the 80s. I didn't even realize that I still play it. I told him I'd be willing to run a game for him, my wife, brother, and cousin, so we can play again. But now that I think about it, I don't even have an idea of what to do for him. I want something that will mix old D&D content with new, if that makes sense. I have a person writing into me to say OSR propaganda. I have people skimming my emails to send me opportunities to say something about OSR propaganda. I need you to sit your dad down Reservoir Dogs style. Or like the interrogation scene from The Dark Knight. And I need you to look him in the eyes. I need you to tell him the world has changed since you last played. People don't die anymore. We care about a story. Your dad's confused. How'd they even get here? Doesn't matter. You slam his head into the table like Joker. Like Batman does to Joker. Swear me. He goes, what about this OSR thing? It's too late. It's too late for him. You open up and you leave and you start walking like Forrest Gump. I could walk like Forrest Gump for 7 years. People would write stories about me. What is that one movie with the guy with the lawnmower? I could be that. And at the end of the 7 years, I would just check Twitter. And I'd go back to being a normal life. It would be that. That is what I need you to do. Someone talks to me about OSR, and I just start jogging for 7 years. I fuel up my lawnmower and I just start driving it. Zach, what do you think of OSR? And it's just like a hard cut. It's after 7 years and I'm jogging to Santa Monica Pier from Maine. I would say don't run first edition. It'll be a headache. I don't think many people would be into it. Play Morkborg, play Pirate Borg. Those are both real things that someone can play or just give up. Hey, I didn't know you played D&D. I've had first edition, and you yell at your dad because he's an OSR chud. Because he's an OSR chud. Zach, I don't know what OSR is. Good. And there's people here who listen to him, and I can't blame them. They like what they like, but I play RTSs on the computer. What can I say? Hey, Zach, I've been loving the podcast, the only podcast with enough energy to keep me entertained while I run. I'm currently DMing a Strixhaven campaign, and all in all, I think we've been having a great time. Recently, the Wizards starting casting Phantasmal Force 5e. This is the one about like illusory making something, but it's in their head. What level spell is this? I always forget. I don't use Phantasmal Force that much. I just swing a sword and I complain. And then if everyone gangs up on me, I just leave. I rage quit. My internet's awful. I think they cut the line. I think somewhere, some transatlantic line underwater has been cut. All right. You craft an illusion that takes root in the mind of a creature that you can see within range. The target must make an intelligence saving throw. On a failed save, you create a phantasmal object, creature, or other visible phenomenon of your choice that is no larger than a 10-foot cube and that is perceivable only to the target for the duration. The spell has no effect on undead or constructs. The phantasm includes sound, temperature, and other stimuli, also evident only to the creature. The target can use its action to examine. This is a second level illusion spell. Target can use its action to examine the phantasm with an intelligence investigation check against your spell save DC. If the check succeeds, target realizes that the phantasm is an illusion and the spell ends. While target is affected by the spell, the target threats the phantasm. If it were real, the target rationalizes any illogical outcomes from interacting with the phantasm. The target rationalizes any illogical outcomes from interacting with the phantasm. I think that's how every Waffle House or IHOP or at Denny's works at 2 a.m. Everything that is at Denny's at 2 a.m. is a phantasmal illusion. It's phantasmal force being played. I'm sure a lot of people have a lot of crazy stories about things like that. And I just listen to them. My people will tell me about their friends. My friends are a phantasmal force made by some kind of transdimensional being. You know, when people, their cars won't work, and they'll say, this is because of I'm a Pisces. Yeah, it's because I live between, if you look at the lines of White Castles and Walmarts, and you follow those lines and you see they all come across like their longitude and latitudinal lines come across at an exact point. That's where I live. And whenever you send out negativity into the world or vitriol, it will be channeled like a dowsing rod, like an arc cannon through the nearest Waffle House, through the nearest White Castle, and it'll be beamed into my brain. I'll be in the middle of reading Tasha's Cauldron of Everything on my Neuralink, my Wizards of the Coast Neuralink, and all of a sudden I will just be beamed with that rage, and it'll make me go buy like a lottery ticket, and I'll be mad at myself afterwards. I'll go spend $100 in the Vegas airport because because it looked like the piggies were going to burst in the slot machine. It doesn't matter. I think the thing that gets me about it is that the target rationalizes any illogical outcomes from interacting with the phantasm, but then also states the target can use its action to examine the phantasm with an intelligence investigation check against your spell save DC. But if the target is rationalizing everything, I'm not sure why they would ever want to make an investigation check since they believed everything is real, even things that are seemingly illogical. I'm not sure how, as a DM, I should appropriately role-play a creature under the influence of phantasmal force. Commonly, my wizard will make the force appear as wolves or other creatures. Should the enemy creature just ignore these for the duration of the fight and take the damage? Should I have them make investigation rolls anyways? You're reading a D&D spell, like a magic rules text. I think it's a little bit looser than that. I think, you see a wolf. Imagine you see something out of the corner of your eyes. You see something move. You're at your grandma's house. You're at her estate sale. She recently passed. You see something move out of the corner of your eyes. And you look for a second, and it's gone. Well, you can say that is the investigation check. What was that? I saw it. Oh, it was just a moving coat because the window's open. It's wind. But if you fail that perception check, it turns into hereditary. You look right, and they're there, and they're smiling at you. And it's like an SCP. It's like a creepy pasta, and their eyes are big voids. And you think it's cool because you're like, this is my one opportunity. I got to snag a picture of this. I will be on Creepcast. Wendigoon and Meat Canyon will have me on Creepcast. I took a picture of my grandma. Fake out it's a phantasmal force. And you're taking objects that are not in reality and trying to put them there. I don't think that's I think it's like you can frame it as like a half a second you try to investigate something. It's half a second that you're like, whoa, hold on, wait, what's that? It's funny to me your wizard is using wolves. You can just make anything. And they feel the heat of it. You can make it the sun. And you're like, it's a wolf. They see wolves. And that's very good. That's very fantasy. There's nothing wrong with that. And see, this is how people talk about their friends. They go, see, I love my friends. And there's nothing wrong. They can think anything. I think I'd rather take the Neuralink, block off my thoughts, replace them with, honestly, like ASMR videos and, I don't know, nature documentaries. Should I have them try and fight and I lost my spot. Fight it and make the investigation rolls. Please help. I enjoy more open-ended spells, which can be used in a wide range of situations. But this one seems confusing for combat. I'd also love to hear your overall thoughts about the spell and how you seen it used, what to use correctly. This is also one of those spells that you try to convince your DM They see a Cyclops. They see a big T-Rex. And they're chain smoking, American Spirits Yellow. And they're so done with you. This is not a dinosaur campaign. Imagine if you're being literally brainwashed by your DM that you can never use any spell. And then you try to use Phantasmal Force and you're like, well, it's a wolf. Can we have it be a wolf? Hello, Zach, I'm emailing you. Dude, my lips have been dry and it's been annoying the hell out of me. It's so dry everywhere. The humidity in my room it's actually not that bad right now. I've been trying to drink water as much as I can, and I just try not to think about it. I don't want to know. I don't want to know why nothing's working. My lips are chapped, and I'm self-conscious about this. Hello, Zach. I'm emailing you on this fine Monday evening because I wanted to ask about what your skills you can learn from playing and running D&D games with your friends. To preface, I'm in college and trying to learn the fine art of filmmaking. I'm undecided on whether production or writing would be a better job. I just want to find something that won't have me begging on the side of the road when I leave college and have to actually find a job. Screenwriting versus production is so different. That is very different. Production is the equivalent of being sent off to underwater weld in a BP oil-filled oil field off some Gulf country. Being a screenwriter is a quirky. Everyone's a screenwriter in LA. You go to LA and everyone's a screenwriter. So just know that for yourself. If you're pursuing screenwriting, even when you're not pursuing screenwriting, you're pursuing screenwriting. Everyone has a screenplay they're writing on. You'll meet someone's dog running up Runyon Canyon. You go up Runyon Canyon, it's a runway model. It's a runway for models. And their dog is writing up Jaws 3D 2. It is, if your passion is screenwriting, I'm glad. Go for it. Do it. But if you're making, if you choose to be a screenwriter, you are essentially saying, I'm allowing myself to live my life. If you choose to go into production, a gaffer, a best boy, audio, AC, the DP, Lord forbid, an assistant director, you are choosing to give up your life to go and essentially mine oil in Bear Country in Alaska, and you are by yourself forever. You will hear people say, oh, you got to be an electrician. All the jobs are going to be taken by AI, yada, yada. You can go and be an electrician or a plumber. Yeah, imagine trying to be a best boy on a film set and no one cares about you. Sometimes these production companies will skip your lunch because they'd rather take the fine. And sometimes you're on location and it's 10 degrees out. Your assistant cameraman has died. They are like Michael Torrance at the end of The Shining. They are frozen with icicles hanging from their nose next to you. And all you can know is that they're probably going to get a small pay bump at the end of their shift, which is also 14 hours. And you have to drive 7 hours back to LA from wherever on earth you are at. You will be shooting something in New England, and you have to be back in New England by 5 a.m. as a best boy in film, and you have to go home tonight in Los Angeles, 36 hours away. That is how it is to be in production. Those are very different things. That's like you're approaching me and you are going, Zach, Zach, should I be a librarian? Or should I be replacing, or should I be a bomb defusal unit? Or should I work with SEAL Team 6 and be a bomb defusal unit? And I go, well, let me scratch my head real quick. Are you passionate about defusing bombs? And you go, well, I've thrown the idea around. About defusing bombs, Okay, would you ever, that seems like a big thing to dedicate your life to. Do you like being a librarian? Oh, yeah, the dream is to be a librarian. That would be awesome. But if that doesn't work out, I'd probably go and defuse bombs. recently that I spent a lot of time practicing DMing when I could be trying to improvise my skills in the realm of cinematography, editing, or the like. D&D is ultimately a pastime to be treated like a game you play among friends, since that's what it is. But do you think your time spent DMing, you picked up any skills you would have used in the film world? Or if there was any other practical application you've used it for? Yeah, I would say definitely more on the screenwriting aspect. I don't know if D&D has ever helped me in the production aspect. I shoot everything myself in color grade and edit and whatever. That was kind of a skill, because I say everything came together here for the content creation stuff, because it's a collaboration of everything I've kind of worked towards in my life. And yeah, running D&D games is definitely on the writing side. I don't know if me yelling at my idiot friends about finding the plot of the game and taking the plot hooks and not being stupid would really help me diffuse a light, would help me pick the right camera equipment for an actual play, would help me not have someone make a 22-minute video on my production style. Yeah, I would say it's helped. Writing it is definitely a good thing. I don't know if it would, you get the fundamentals of, oh geez, I just think of Save the Cat. Like one of those books, like the books that you would get at the Barnes & Noble in the Grove. Because you're new and bright eyes to LA and you're like, maybe I want to be a screenwriter or in production. That cracks me up. Production, for those who don't know, it is truly a blue-collar job. There is nothing more stressful. You're a PA working on Hollywood Boulevard. Lord forbid you're working on Hollywood Boulevard. They barely do that anymore. Everything's LED panels and CGI. No one shoots on location anymore. It's also incredibly expensive. But Lord forbid you're on Hollywood Boulevard, you're a PA, and people in Hollywood will go up to a set, like a movie set, and they'll just start yelling, making noise. And so what they do is they give PAs hundreds of dollars. They give PAs thousands of dollars in cash, and they go, all right, go up to whatever person's yelling and say, if you leave right now, I'll give you $1,000. I'll give you $100. $1,000 is way. Don't give them $1,000. Like if you're a screenwriter and you've made it, you are at a spa. Someone is massaging your glutes. You are on a MacBook Pro, and you are typing up a short form vertical that is being sent off to China about a vampire and a werewolf fighting each other. And it is going to go on TikTok. It's going to get 5 billion views, and it's going to make $1 million every second. And then you hard cut and you're like, I want to also be in production. And you are on Hollywood Boulevard. You have someone in a headlock. You are giving another person $200. Someone is recording you so that they can leak the next Spider-Man costume. Meanwhile, you're doing a commercial for L'Oreal that no one's going to watch. It's going to be an advertisement played in between games of Baccarat on it's not even real money. It's people playing Baccarat in Facebook Messenger. You're getting paid $30. You're not even like, I don't even know you're not even union. You're a PA. You're at the bottom of the barrel. If the director makes eye contact with you, they will kill you and they'll feed you to the pigs like in Rambo. You make eye contact with the director. You look down. Next, it hard cuts to you. You are being eaten by pigs. Zach, do I be a screenwriter, or do I go, or do I join a BlackRock mercenary gang and fight in South America for corporate interests? What is this question? What are you asking me? Zach, does D&D, all right, so when we're looking at screenwriting, like this is why I would not talk. This is why when people approach me, like my old professors at college, be like, can you talk about, LA and how it relates to Michigan and moving into the film world, or talk about writing for content creation, or this is why I can't talk about it. Because some lovely person who has had a great life, grew up, their parents are together, they're part of some trust funds. Their parents did like the Gerber baby formula investment. that you used to see on Cartoon Network all the time. And now they can go to college and it's free and it's awesome. And they've never had anything wrong in their life. And they're bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, another day of sun, La La Land. And they want to go out and they don't know whether or not to go out to be a screenwriter. And they ask me, they go, Zach, I want to be a screenwriter or I want to be in production. And how does D&D help with that? And I have to blankly look them in the eyes and say, do you think Dungeons and Dragons would help you fight mercenary bands in a country you don't know the name of, held by BlackRock? And they would stare at me stunned. They would have no idea what to say. And I would say, that is what being in production is. I have worked with people on production now who have been nominated for Oscars, have won Oscars, or Grammys, or Emmys, Tonys even. And they will be working with me on a shoot that is for a PSA for a airline for like Ryanair that just never comes to fruition. And it is, no, I don't think D&D has helped me with the production aspect a bit. But it's certainly an interesting question. And this is not to say no one should follow their dreams. Clearly, I'm a high defining example of that. And if your dream is production, good. Get yourself a nice pair of jeans, learn stuff like an electrician, and be prepared for the days that you're a PA. Be prepared for the days that you will have to suplex someone on Hollywood and Highland. You are being recorded by someone who has a TikTok channel with 30,000 views, and you are being berated by your boss, the actors. One time I was on this show on Amazon Prime called With Love. I did background work for a Prime show called With Love. And this was right after COVID, and we were in bodegas on top of W Hotel, and we had our masks on because between every shot you had to put your mask on, and we were outside on the top floor of the W Hotel on the pool, and they rip open the bodega covers, and they're ready to shoot, and the lead actor looks at me, and he yells at me, "Take off your mask." That is 0.1% on average what a production person, and background acting is not production, but on that is what you're going to have to deal with. I was hot out of college. I was a boom operator for some low budget film that's on Amazon Prime. And I was working with a C-list actress who was on maybe B-list. I don't know what that means. And it was the first time I ever interacted with someone who's like really famous. And she asked me for some reason to record my lips are so chapped, to record a TikTok for her because her agency wants. And I'm helping record a TikTok. And the assistant director comes down and yells at me. And just yells at me, "What are you doing?" And of course, waits for the actress to go upstairs. So yeah, it's not to stop anyone, but it is for very different things. If you'd be willing to talk about that, it'd be super, as I need justification to be spending time on D&D instead of working on college classes or making money at the blue-collar oil rig that doubles as a refinery where they process the sweat out of laborers into an acidic material that can be used to dissolve rocks and other metallic objects. I've been watching videos since episode 4 or 5 while I'm on the job, so I'll be listening for your response. Well, great. I'm glad to get around to it. But again, if you want to be in Hollywood, you want to be in film, just go for it. I'm not stopping you. I'm genuinely, I'm not even saying it's bad, but it was a big wake up call for me the first time I did a production job. So be ready for that. Let's get into super thanks. Dylan really do be chillin', sent in $2. Hi, Zach. Image of the guy with the propeller hat and lollipop. El Chapo sent in El Chapo 9918 sent in $5. Hey, sack the balls. Okay, that one is crazy. Sack the balls. That is nuts. Oh. I had a question about Conjure Elemental Spell and wanted an answer from the one true king of TTRPGs, D&D likes, DDRK I don't know if I can say the rest of that. What is the max size you would allow for a PC's conjured Earth elemental to be? Are we talking Shadow of the Colossus or like 15 feet? I don't know. I tried to look to see if they had like a thing where it said on D&D Beyond how tall an Earth elemental would be, because I just used the stat block, but it doesn't. Why on earth would I let a player summon a Shadow of the Colossus style sized Earth golem? Why on earth would I do that? Zach, would you allow them to? No, I wouldn't, actually. They'd probably be 8 feet tall, 8 to 12 feet, maybe. Well, Zach, it's an Earth elemental. It's a CR. I don't care. What do you want me to? My players really like Monster Hunter. My Neuralink chip is overheating in my brain thinking about how that is even a question. Zach, how big would you allow an Earth elemental to be? I think the real question here is, why should I not encapsulate myself in molten iron right now, like the Terminator? Why should I not become the Earth elemental? That is what this question makes me. Zach, would you like it to be Shadow of the Colossus sized? No. For a 4th level conjuration spell? No, I wouldn't, actually. That's the answer to that, actually. No, I wouldn't. Oh, but Zach, it doesn't specify. I don't know. How about you dip me in a full cask of molten iron, and you tell me how tall it can get. Dip me into molten lava and see how tall it can get. I beg you. Well, Zach on the podcast said that Jabalina, the Seal 1406, sent in $5. Hey, Zach, I just want to say I love the pod, and I look forward to listening to it every Monday. I'm currently at the U.S. National Soil Judging Competition in North Carolina. What? I feel like this is an academic way of saying I'm checking my car's blinker fluid. National Soil Judging Competition. This has a Weebly website. Welcome to the 2025 National Collegiate Soil Judging Contest. We are excited to be hosting you in central Wisconsin at University of Wisconsin, Stevens Point. The contest, University of Wisconsin, Stevens Point, UWSP, with assistance from Wisconsin, USDA, NRCS. Many thanks to those who helped with preparations of funding for this event. We are grateful to sponsors, volunteers, landowners, students, and coaches that make this event possible. So I think this is what's so interesting to me. I think I fill a niche of entertaining people who have to actually go out and do science, do math, create infrastructure, build our world. But I will talk to someone. That is the most refreshing thing. If someone tells me they're at the National Soil Contest of 2026, I'm infatuated with you. I want to hear you talk nonstop. I want to drink 30 Busch Lights with you, and I want to hear you talk nonstop about the National Soil Contest. And I'm not being facetious here. I'm not being sarcastic. I think that is the most fascinating thing in the entire world. I want to know what soil looks like before data centers, what it looks like after, what it looks like before solar gardens, what it looks like after. I would sit and listen to you forever. If you came to me and you wanted to talk to me about your screenplay or whatever, and that's great. It's fine. You want to talk to me about D&D. If you sit across from me and you crack open a Busch Light and you tell me you've been to the National Soil Contest, I want to know more. I want to know everything about you. I also wanted to say, that I really benefited from your message of taking up space and caring about yourself. There are times where I'd sink into my negative self-esteem patterns, then remember that Yuck the Bald said I'm allowed to take up space as much as anyone else. That helped me a lot in these last few months. Much love. Don't let the flame die out. I lost my voice. I'll do it next time. Pronounced Jabalina. Jabalina, I hope you are winning. I hope you were the winner. I hope you were from University of Idaho and won. But a big congrats. That's actually incredibly fascinating. I did not know that existed. Ghost Bird Lyrie. Actually, you know what? Going back to Jabalina. Yeah, I'm glad. I'm glad to hear that. Me saying something about taking up space. And listen, I got to do that sometimes too. Be assertive. Ask the question. I have some friends, seriously, who can't even call someone on the phone. Who can't even like call to place a takeout order. So for you, just like take a second and be like, I can take up space. I can bother someone, because people will bother you your whole life. So Ghostbird Larry sent in $5. First time super thanker here. Appreciate you, Ghostbird Larry. The question is, what do I do about D&D burnout? I play D&D almost every week since I started. Now it feels like I'm playing just because that's what I do on Tuesdays. Like, I want to just play more, but I just don't. And I don't want to skip sessions because that just throws a wrench into everything for everyone else. And I don't want to miss anything in the campaign, as the last time I missed a session because I got into a minor car accident. I hope you're okay. The gods banished up from the world, and we escaped on a spelljammer ship. I don't want to miss another session because I got into a car accident last time. It was just ridiculous. I think that's a little bit more important. Plus, I spent all my money I got donating plasma on dice, and I feel like I still need to get my money's worth. I seriously had a buddy of mine in college who would donate plasma for the newest, like, Fortnite skin. They would have, like, LeBron James or someone come out on Fortnite, and they'd be in the plasma center the next day. The next day. Don't sell your plasma for dice or Fortnite skins, because they start giving you less money for it. What are they doing with all that? What are they doing with all of it? It depends. It kind of depends on what your burnout is. Are you running the game? Well, it says you were playing in it, right? Yeah. Sometimes I get burnt out when I don't pay enough attention. So maybe try to get more involved with it. See if anyone else is getting burnt out. Maybe you're not running enough combat. Maybe it's too roleplay heavy. Maybe it's too much combat, not enough roleplay. Try to like throw around an idea of what you do like about D&D and emphasize that more. I think there's ways to go around it, but D&D is supposed to be relief from burnout. It's supposed to, in of itself, not be a job. So maybe change your mindset on it a little bit. I think that's the best way to do it. Yeah. Lick Squid 6351 sent in $2. Zach, if this Papillon fella glazes you any harder, it's going to look like a Krispy Kreme ad. Joking, of course. I'm the one glazing Papillon. Joking, of course. Shout out to everyone who donates to keep the show running. Corners is coming outside soon, guys. It's not a rug pull, I swear. Don't let the flame die out. Hey, I'm dead serious. That's what I was filming. Corners is 80%. It's like 80% done. So last week I talked about I had some distribution problems because there's going to be a lot of new aspects to Corners. There's going to be some fun stuff with it. I'm also redoing the first two thumbnails, and we also got some like props printed, photos printed, and it's going to be the formula is going to be a little bit different, but of course be very much the same. So that's why my voice is gone actually, because Corners is like 80% done. Which I know it sounds because we're going to show it. I think it'll come out. I think it'll come out second week of April. Dude, I keep pushing it back, but it's just like, I'm thinking, because it's literally because more and more trips and business and stuff keeps coming up. And, but it is the number one priority. I literally did not put a short out this week because I was working on Corners the entire time, and it's been shot and it's been so. Thank you, Lick Squid. I appreciate you. Blue Bread 00 sent in $10. Ah, yes, another episode of Mild Takes and Short Tempers. A fantastic 30 minutes of mad ravings and question and answer. Then he says, it's curse word. Let's get into some super thanks. And so it begins. He's still reading them. How long has it been? 1 hour, 10? Doesn't matter. The life of the leaves his eyes with every chat is read as my faith in humanity is left in sunders. I'm still inside gone. Thank you, Blue Bread. Dirty D, they've been much better since 2 episodes ago. My God. Dirty D9294 sent in $5. You're limiting super chats? How am I supposed to send you a long-winded post about my table where that smelly guy Fedora Reddit? Ha, gotcha, cheater now. Fiverr, because I saw that chat. I knew it was going to be a rough one. Have a good day. Thank you, Dirty D. Appreciate you. Death at 5970 sent $10. Hey, Zach, been listening to a long time, and after 50-plus hours of entertainment, I think you finally deserve my support. Now time to get back to the problem. Player Barbarian at my table dresses in full cosplays and keeps going on about the pits. And they chained me down. Appreciate that. Thank you. Brent Burgerman sent in $20 /unjerk. Thanks for all the great content. I don't know. I don't always comment, but I certainly watch every episode. The more I play D&D, the more I can keep relating to my party situation to some of your shorts. And that's always fun. Looking forward to the Patreon /rejerk. All my sessions suck because my players think they're comedians. Laments man who makes a living from D&D comedy. All right, buddy. It's a certain sect of comedy. Not all comedy is equal. Let's be honest. Not all comedy is. Sometimes people are just repeating stuff. As I look into the mirror, as I literally cannot escape it myself. James Gunn Rowland sent $5. Thank you. Appreciate you. Great episode, Zach. Thank you. King Dummy 7865 sent in $15. Hello, Zachary Banackery. Better than sack the balls. I love the podcast, and I look forward to listening to every one that comes out until the day you decide you just don't want it anymore. I got a question for you. Hopefully it's short enough. I'm playing at a 3.5 D&D game using experience. Go ahead, boo me. That's been going on for 3 years, and I'm enjoying myself immensely. The only problem is the entire thing comes to a single player who just cannot get into anything into his skull. Throughout the campaign, he never knows what he's doing, what dice to roll, or to keep track of his character sheet correctly. He makes decisions against the party constantly, almost joining the vampires we were fighting, being a loner and arguing with every action the party wanted to take, taking 2 separate devil deals that only served to hurt himself and his relationship with the party. Our group has confronted him multiple times out of a game to try and figure out why he doesn't want to be part of the party, but the only answers we've gotten from him are that he doesn't want to read the player's handbook to learn the system because he only wants to focus on role play, that he feels like a background character but doesn't want to take initiative to do things. Womp womp. Should I bash his brains in with the player's handbook until he starts trying, or should we release him into the wilds? Thanks, and keep up the amazing rants. Yeah, give him Ra's curse. Send locusts to his house. Just like Curse of Ra. Go on Etsy, get a witch. See what they can do, probably. At least get a consultation, get a quote. That's what I gotta say. I'm the victim, dude. I'm just like a background character chudlet. I'm just a little chudlet background character in my friend's D&D game. I have vitriol for you. I have disdain for the way that you do things in my game. Oh, I'm just a little child. No one likes me. And it's just like, I would like to put you in that containment cell like in Blade Runner 2049. You know, that girl in Blade Runner 2049 who can't escape. I don't know. I didn't really listen to the plot. I was just like, Ryan Gosling, I am him. Yeah, it's whack. You'll kind of find that. There's a point. It's like, I'll still run into a lot of people that sometimes just make me say, wow, I will be dealing with this for the rest of my life. Drake and Allen sent in $5. I'm walking down a barren backrooms-esque hallway. I remember I was looking for the next upload of Zach Bold's long-form review of Advanced Dungeons & Dragons module. I glance left and right, so I look up and I see him. It's Zach. Hey, buddy, that new upload is around the corner, he says. Oh, dude, is that why it's called Corners? That's funny. Thanks, I reply, and make a left. I keep walking into a double take. There he's going, hey, buddy, that new upload is just around the corner. No. I start to feel uneasy as I turn left and pick up the pace. Before every episode, too, I always say, do not bring up corners. Stop bringing up corners. Stop saying it will come out soon. But this is the closest corners we've done. It is literally, stop saying it, Zach. Keep walking. I do a double take. There he is again. Hey, buddy, that new upload is just around the corner. I start to feel uneasy as I turn left again. I pick up the pace. There he is again. Hey, buddy. But I'm already running past him around the bend. My heart is pounding, feet stomping. Zach appears again. But it becomes a blur as tears well up in my eyes. How many trips have I made around this house of horrors? Suddenly it hits me. I fall to my knees. I raise the hands to the sky. I get it. I finally understand. I understand why he named it Corners. God dang it, dude. That's not why. John Clark, 984, sent in $5. I avoid Magic the Gathering the way a man with a family history of addiction avoids opioid painkillers. My God. I'm not worried that I won't like it. I'm worried that I'll like it too much. Anyways, this podcast made me start thinking about putting a deck together. I'm serious. Like, you got to really be ready to join the MTG community, because it's just like, the D&D community is one thing, but the MTG community is another. You really find different kinds of rage-inducing things in the D&D, or in the Magic community. Papillon 7210 sent in a big $10. 61 billion RPG players dead. 90 manufacturers of universes beyond sterilized. Another 500 friendly local game stores demoralized. 40 opposing RPG systems annihilated, all under warrior religion burning across the galaxy, chanting one name, Ronaldo. Is this a Dune reference? Phantom Rider 00 sent in $5. How is Daggerheart going? I'd love an update on how you feel about the game since I got it for Christmas, dude. I've not been able to play it in so long. I am in TTRPG D&D like purgatory where our schedules do not work. I don't think I'll be able to play it again until May, end of April, May. If it doesn't suck, I plan to run a couple one-shots with my group. We abandoned 5e a while back to run a superhero campaign using a D&D-like called Cypher System. It's everything a system that I think runs similar to 3.5 D&D or first edition Pathfinder. It's easy to learn and I highly recommend it, but perhaps Daggerheart can be our new permanent high fantasy rule system. And someone replied and said, I'd be curious to hear what Zach's opinion on Daggerheart 2. I've been running a Daggerheart campaign for the last 6 months. So, and the whole table still loves it, myself included. I think I've said this a million times before, but you guys got to remember, I know the people who made Daggerheart, so always take my opinion with a grain of salt when I talk about Daggerheart. But I do really like it. I'm still running it, and I want to keep DMing it so I can give you an actual opinion. And once we start playing it, I'm sure I will just be talking about it during the podcast. To Waffle House 2281 sent in $5. I wish I could edit a comment like a terrible Bollywood movie and make you sit through 11 transitions and poor acting, but I can't. Instead, I could superfluously employ consecutive overcomplications in the configuration of flummoxing demonstration of meticulous lexicographical comprehension. And I didn't make you say stuff thing or super. Anyway, can't wait to burn through my money buying your merch. Merch drop's coming up. I think it's second week of April. We have pictures of the product. John Fusion 79431 sent in MX $20. Hello, Zechariah Ragenwald, better known as Zach the Vold. I made a character at your honor. I hope you have some brew notes for here it is. All right, here we go. Level 7 character. That's so funny. For a one-shot Wood Elf multi-class Fey Wanderer Ranger, level 3. Okay. So they're level 7, but they have 3 levels in Fey Wanderer Ranger. That's me going across the wastes of my psyche, dealing with my friends. Who drops his ranger school and becomes an eloquence bard, level 4. Okay. Now he can't roll lower than a 23 on a persuasion or deception. He also has an advanced delusionary schizophrenia with involuntary narcissistic rage, like that Jim Carrey movie. When he gets mad or takes damage, he starts speaking goblin and going crazy and hoping to hear your opinion. By the way, TP was tool proficiency. Oh, and WM was weapon mastery. I would have never gotten that. Hope you're doing amazing. Love the videos. Take your time. A humble adventurer. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. Fey Wanderer is cracking me up. Eloquence Bard. I don't know. I guess I don't really give myself credit that I have to go and like talk on shows and magic shows and like panels and stuff. Yeah, I think like a Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. It's always funny seeing people come in from like the shorts into the podcast and being like, wow, this is not for me. And I said that on like episode 1 or 3 or 5 or whatever. I'm like, listen, if this is not for you, this is not for you. And I'm sorry, I'm not going to change it so it is for you. Involuntary narcissistic rage. That's also really funny. It's not like I'm trying to spite people. It's like a call to the void. You know when you drive on the highway and you just want to like drive off? You like go over a tunnel and you just like, your brain tells you to drive off. It's kind of like that. Like that is the best way of putting it. Is there any other class I can really think of? Like, no, I think that's pretty good. Maybe like a genie warlock, and inside the genie bottle is just, it's not really even a genie granting wishes. It's just like my psyche bearing down on me, and I ask it for a wish. I'll have to work on that one. That's my new stand-up routine. Guys, we're going on tour. I'm going to do a tight 7 of just D&D jokes. I think that would be a fun challenge to do for like a video. Of course, I would never go on tour being a stand-up and doing a tight 7 for D&D. I think that'd be insane. But I think that would be a fun like comedic challenge. But I'm the D&D guy, guys. I'm the MTG guy. I can never move past it. All right, sorry about the lack of voice in the video. I have a lot of energy. I'm doing good. I really cannot express it. I feel like I'm locked. I'm being withheld. But I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you have a great week. I'm sorry my lips are so chapped. Please don't unsubscribe, guys. Please. Make sure to hit the bell button. That's it. I hope you guys have a great week. I know I will. So I will see you soon. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.